Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Melsya Hiswanti. I'm class regular for A. Hello guys. Here I will give an opinion on learning during the pandemic. Currently, all countries in the world are reporting in COVID-19 pandemic. All activity are limited to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, including occasional activity. In Indonesia, it has been approximately 3 months of educational activity from elementary and the secondary to tertiary level and carried out online without a face-to-face meeting between teacher and student. Um, Online learning eventually make us our related auxiliary potential of the internet that has not been fully utilized in a virus planning, including education, without the limit of the speech and time. Education activity can be done anytime and anywhere. Moreover, in an era where there is no uncertainty when is the pandemic will end, so online learning is an absolute necessity that must be met by all Indonesian people. However, being behind every positive side of something, there must be a negative side or less debate and possibility that could happen. I'll talk primarily educational activity can still be can carried out online, but because student have to study at home, character education during this pandemic it feels a little negliged. Um, Previously, when educational activity were carried out in the school, character education was carried out with a direct supervision for a teacher or leader. Activity that support and character education can also to be carried out and directly, intensively, and the level of success can be measured. Um, this is however at his time when educational activity are the carried or out online where what happens is only the learning process or the transfer of knowledge. Nothing can create that student get a character education for the character education from transparent in the accordance with the value that have been until now taught by education institution. For example, in some Islamic school, which emphasis character education with worship activity such as sunnah and obligatory prayer in the congregation or a recitation of the Quran. Accordingly, they cannot automatically carry out these teach activities because students have to study at home. Mm, indeed, indeed, it is possible that some schools have the established and emergence for reporting student worship activity at home, but the presence of a teacher and educator as well as their direct interaction with student is required required for the implementation of the comprehensive character education. So the example of the educator who are seen and felt directly uh, by student is the main key to character education and education institution. So especially in the current situation where many parents are very busy at the work, especially when online learning is done. Of course, they cannot indirectly supervise and thirsty children are doing. So many teachers complain about student and student participant when online learning takes place. Teachers find it difficult to access time with their student and the student take learning seriously. Because it often happens in online learning. There are students are intentionally post and a video that has been a recorder so that it's as they are following the learning process, but in fact they are doing something else. So in the evaluation process, many difficulties were encountered. If there are usually tests or exam, a teacher or the leader can carry out a direct supervision so that student can be education to be honest and working on the question. Now the situation has changed. No one can supervise and confirm whatever the question given are done alone or not, or while looking for answer from the internet that just a copy paste the answer. uh, yes, sports learning and practical work in the laboratory are also neglected. Whereas then a subject matter educated student and the student to have positive character such as strong, intelligent, honest, capable, and not easy to give up, and appreciates the process. What is a worry is that if this pandemic lasts a long time and online learning is carried out for a full year or maybe more, the young generation of this national will get used to various facilities that do not education and mature. They might lose a full year on the character education, thus a value is very valuable as version to life, proposes to life. This nation no longer faces the threat of the strength of the smartphone people in internet era. This is today. Unlimited access to information makes it easy for everyone to learn anything. However, learning is different from education, let alone a character education. This nation needs a young generation with a positive character is a format and that can only be accessed by character education that priorities uh, the example for the teacher, which most the various and imitated uh, difficultly by student and the faculty. Therefore, it is time for the government and all elements of education in Indonesia to think about how to replace character education, which during this pandemic period has to be neglected. Do not let the loss of the character education values also become the part in the normal. So that later when we no longer feel stay a younger generation of has long positive character because our education is finally domination by only learning with only purity and the transfer of knowledge. You are in faculty morals. That is what is nation a really improvement in students and the problem is today. This is a lesson I got a credit and a meaningful experience. It accompanied as history of the break in its time. We just need to take a lesson from the pandemic. However, we remain agreeable and continue to carry out creativity or the test elimination. According to them, it is time we shall be very grateful and always take care of and health. That is for me. Thank you very much for all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.